Alright, so now I'm going to choose our boss. So you can see there's a bunch of different choices, including a crate of rabid squirrels, of course. Why wouldn't there be a
Why wouldn't there be one?
Why wouldn't there be a crate of rabid squirrels? So let's see. What do you think, Goblin Chieftain?
Yeah.
All right, so let's take this guy on. And you can see here, this guy's actually a pretty good choice for me because I wanted to look pretty good. Ranged characters are pretty good against this goblin. We can show you when we use Carl that essentially we have Scarlet, our ranged character, and you can see one of the bugs is I've managed to lose my bow. And Carl is a melee character, so it gives you kind of a whole different fight dynamic. This guy's sort of staying at a distance, and he's throwing some stuff, and it's really easy to start a counter. So you can see here's my decoy he went for. Now let me get behind him, throw some more caltrops down. And it's really easy to keep this guy sort of at a distance because he's that type of a character. But some of the other characters are really aggressive, and they'll come right at you, and they'll be a lot more difficult melee ones. Alright, so let's see. You can see he's got a cool attack.
Whoa, that was neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some more of these to power up my bow. And again, one of the cool things is like you can go in and modify some of the properties of the characters and things like that. And when you make your own game, you can do anything you want with these characters and bosses. And there we go. So, just like that, you've got all these paradigms. Now I've got this little key, and I can go ahead and open my treasure chest, and I've got my potion.
Sweet.
Oh, there was a cool exploding box I could have used. And then I've got my teleporter, so I can run back to town, do some more quests, save up for some more money, or go ahead and hop in the teleporter. So here I'm going to hop in. I'm going to go ahead and deliver this. And they celebrate me for finding the potion.
Yay!
And there we go. So some of the ideas is that
that's cool.
you can replay this. It kind of gives you some different scores and criteria around what you found, what you didn't find. And also one of the cool things is when you exit this, it's very easy to go ahead and you've sort of made your first game. You can save this, but it also gives you a little story. So after the bandits poisoned the village water well, Scarlet journeys through the wetlands. So it's actually taking your choices and it's telling a little story as you go. And then I could very quickly name this and then just save this right up, and I've got my own little quest that I made from my choices.
Right, so you've created your first level in Project Spark, and now you can go by and edit the things and build upon it and improve it.
Yeah, so there we go. So let's hop out and give Kim a run.
Yeah.
And maybe we can see some of the different choices and filters and stuff like that. So again, this is a mode that will be evolving. You know, we talked about when we showed the Haunted Cornfield content, that when you get that content, it expands some of the choices in here. One of the cool things is it adds a scarecrow boss for you to fight. It adds another little side quest, which I completely failed on showing you guys.
Right,
Kim will completely succeed at that.
Can you talk about that? So when somebody gets a content pack like Haunted Cornfield, now in Crossroads, that's now going to be another option that they can choose from, right?
Yeah, so the idea is all of the stuff that we want to add to the game, it's all about playing and creating. So we really want to make sure that the stuff we add has elements that enhance play and creation. And
Right.
you'll see when you look through these things, they'll affect different choices, different bosses. You'll be able to add additional kind of champions and characters and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is cool. That's very compelling.
We've done.
We did day and morning.
Done day and morning. It's also evening. Or do we want to play with the filters?
I think we should do the filters. And for those joining us, they'll be like, "What is this black and white game in 2013?"
Yeah.
Ooh,
So I don't know. I like antique. It's kind of like playing in the old west.
We can even maybe expand this at some point to get the little scratch.
Yeah.
You can have a little scratch filter so it looks like an old movie, like an old talkie. I just love that effect. When Spark drives into the world and just randomly generates it out, like I love watching this.
Actually, I love watching.
The goblin die.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying.
Can you talk a little bit about Spark, like as the character? I noticed you kind of said that a couple times, and chat's picking up on that. What's the?
Yeah, so you see Spark here is flying around. So Spark is sort of a conduit to creation. If you think about where does some of these creation powers come from and stuff like that, we manifest a lot of them through Spark. So the idea is that Spark will hit the terrain and really cool effects will come from Spark, and the choices sort of generate from Spark. So Spark is this fun sort of character sort of ball of energy that is all about creation. And what we really love about Spark is that Spark sort of is this thing that empowers people to feel like anything can happen. And, you know, things can be anything that you want them to be and see different things in them. So Spark is there for the ride, and Spark is helping, and Spark is doing really cool things. And you guys, when you jump into beta, you'll see a lot of more cool stuff around Spark. And you could actually take the stuff that we use to make Spark and make some games with Spark.
That's cool.
And Spark is my digital avatar.
It is. It's Henry in digital form.
So we're going to go for the Berserker!
Yeah, this time we're going to go for Carl.
How's this going?
And again, Carl has a completely different set of skills.
So Carl's a melee guy. You can see he's also rage based. So the more he attacks, the more his rage meter builds up, and eventually he goes into this like fury state.
Oh, it's all red when you're not in the antique filter.
Oh yeah.
And when he's in the Fury state, it alters some of his other moves. So now he has
Yeah.
like a super spin move,
Yeah.
and it starts to heal him, and it does additional damage. And then he's got these cool daggers, and when the daggers hit enemies, he automatically bleeds them and does a damage over time effect. So again, it's not just about like giving these cool characters a way to play, but it's also about like providing these cool game mechanics, because we really want people to sort of learn. If you look at like what your choices are, we've tried to structure the choices in a logical manner that makes sense for a story and for a game design, right? So you've got sort of a home, an antagonist, a protagonist, a reward, a quest. Like all of these things start to get you in the flow of thinking about how to build your own game. I'm guessing you're under the water
Yeah.
or in the building. Can we recover from another building bug? I think Carl is taking a dirt nap physically. So we've got a couple bugs with the building placement that's popping you under the terrain, it looks like. So we'll start over and maybe do a different filter and a different choice. And since we're running through Crossroads for a second time, we can maybe do some more like things to create with and stuff like that.
Eric in the bakery really wants you to pick the bakery.
Oh, that's true. We gotta.
Okay, we'll do that.
I hope we get the fun voiceover line when we pick it.
We haven't done rivers yet, have we?
Oh yeah, we're not hearing.
No, you
We
didn't.
don't hear the sound, guys. So you gotta let us know how the sound is.
Do mountains.
We can have headphones in here and wear them, but it would mess up my ear, and I don't want to do that.
So it's unfortunate we had the bug where we couldn't grab desert, but
Yeah.
you can see how radically different like having the desert choice and different themes and stuff like that can really change things.
Is the voice Spark?
So the voice is actually not Spark. The voice is, and we talk about this, well, you'll see a little bit more when it comes to beta. There is an object in the background that is sort of the sun for this world. We call it the creation well. And Spark and everything comes from the creation well. So the voice is the creation well. And the creation well is there to help guide when you need it. And it also just does nothing when you don't need it to. So it is this entity where all creation comes from.
I've seen it.
Sweet.
You guys like evening?
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright.
The day is always nice.
Yeah, we've done some choreography in the animations and Kinect. What we showed was a really early start, so things will get better and better and things like that. So you can definitely do things like start to choreograph your own fight scenes. You'll obviously get more. The deeper you go into those things, you'll get more complicated. So you'll have to put some timers and different cameras and transitions in those. But you could probably do a fun fight scene with cool hit reactions and stuff like that.
And what about the journalist at last week? From,
Yeah.
Was it from Polygon?
So
or
that was
wasn't
a cool
from-
story. I don't remember where it was, but we showed Project Spark at the San Francisco Media event, and one of the journalists did something that I've done in this stream, reenacted a scene from the famous movie and did the Titanic scene. So did the kind of the on the front of the boat
I'm the
scene.
king of the world. Yeah. And it was really cool. And I mean, I think the article was, Project Spark might, maybe the first game that allows you to basically play as an actor,
Yeah.
right? Like let you be act out.
So somebody asked if Spark is the son of the creation well. So we get into this a little bit more later on, and you'll see a little bit of this in beta. But think of Spark more like an agent from the creation well. And some of the interesting things about Spark is the Spark doesn't necessarily do everything the well wants Spark to do, and Spark sort of has a personality of his own. But we'll get into some of that stuff more.
Okay, so what I'm looking at here is another little bit of gameplay. I can pick up the divining rod, and this lets me walk around, and it'll tell me when I can dig under the terrain. And this time I found a fish bone, so that wasn't especially useful, but it's just another fun little mini game. So,
And that's another way to find things like coins and other
yeah,
surprises.
to wander around and look for stuff.
So Eric the Baker, thank you very much for putting the bakery.
I did build the bakery. I don't have any money though, so I'm not gonna bake anything quite yet. So this is the shrine in its original form, and I can come here and I can meditate, which gives me a little bit of a buff.
Something tells me that shrine's going to have a hard time soon.
Yeah, the
So it's a
shrine's
good thing you meditated earlier.
not long for this world. Is there anything else we wanted to do in the town before we?
No, but I think, one of the things that you'll see as this evolves is you'll have lots of different choices around the towns and the starting thing. So, you can really make this sort of feel like your hero's home and a cool place to come back to and customize it. Unfortunately, one of the really cool side quests is the prison, is the sheriff. There's a little prisoner behind, and the little prisoner tries to get you to sort of help him and break out from jail and stuff like that. So
As prisoners are wont to do.
There's a bunch of, we throw this term around a lot, but there is a lot of emergent gameplay. And there is a lot of these little side things. So here Kim's kind of going to this little puzzle that she found behind one of the building choices. And then you're trying to open the box here.
Yeah. So I think this is an invention of the guy who lives, guy who lives with me in the windmill.
Can you change the color of the grass on the train? Absolutely, you can change the color in just about anything you want. We showed a bunch of that through some previous streams. But the idea is that this is all about what you want. As deep, as hard you want to dive into this stuff, you can literally get down to like coloring the change of the character's shells, or changing the color of all the crates and the boxes in the world, putting names on anything you want. It's all about like the ultimate customization. In a lot of ways, we say a lot of our inspiration started with the idea of change the game. Right, you have a lot of linear games, amazing set pieces, but you play through and you do what the developer wants you to do, and those are amazing experiences. But people want to express themselves, and sometimes they want to change the game. And Crossroads is a great example of that. You can dive in and recolor this whole world, paint it completely differently, and totally change that game. I want the horde of squirrels so bad.
I do too.
Move over, you coming soon icon.
Goblins.
So we're going to go
this
with the
time?
goblins.
Yeah.
They bring their own odor.
Goblins are jerks. They're here to
I think they're just misunderstood.
polluting our shrine.
That's right. But the interesting dilemma is that you've got a goblin. So there are good goblins and good bad goblins. And
Yeah.
that, again, shows sort of what this whole anything, give me anything you want. Good guys can be bad guys. Enemies can be good guys. You can turn these NPCs that you're seeing here into good guys, into bad guys. So some of the stuff you'll see that's been work in progress is we're working on some of the animation blending and smoothing. You can see now we've got some cool chain attacks that actually give you what we call root motion, so they're actually moving your character forward, so it's really easy to line up with things and cover the distance. And Carl is quite a beast, so he can tear through people. And you'll see that there's just a lot of gameplay improvements around the combat. Maybe we'll do another stream with Claude and dive into some of the combat stuff. So you'll see here, like the torches just have some behavior right there. This baker here that Eric the Baker recommended is upselling their goods and wares here on the street, trying to get you to buy some of their
Yeah.
baked goods. Well, that's true. Mike did ditch the hat, huh?
I'm gonna
Well, it's the Friday stream.
let
so
the
I don't
game
have to wear it.
choose for me here. So we need the mystery meat for some reason to help. Does he
World of
to
pure
purify the shrine here? So last time we did the quarry. Let's do
A village consumed by
let's
fire.
do the.
I think we have a slight spoiler alert with the Druid Shrine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So I'll put this.
So again, think of this again from that perspective of like all of this is always evolving. As things get added, as stuff comes in, maybe even the potential for some community creations to show up in Crossroads at some point throughout the roadmap and the plan. Not at beta, maybe much longer term. There's just a lot of possibilities here of how we can keep adding to this and have tons and tons of replay and cool things that you can always find that's new in Crossroads.
So you can see right here, I just triggered the first side quest.
Go straight past them. Oh, only I would do that.
And get the other one.
So Kim is delivering. She's going to show the side quests.
And at any time, if at any time you're done drawing the path, you can just hit the A button and Spark will finish it
All
for
that
you,
begins ends. Autumn
which
paths.
looks pretty cool. All right, so now I have my marching orders, and
Somebody was asking if they can shapeshift their characters. Yes, you can do a bunch of stuff to shapeshift your characters. We built some stuff with humans switching into squirrels. There was the Gamescom demo where we switched, I think it was a troll into a squirrel. You can do some really fun stuff around pushing brains that let you control different characters. You can do some really fun stuff around, maybe we'll show that at the end of the stream. I'll show something fun at the end of the stream that makes you maybe think a little bit differently about Project Spark and some of the stuff we've previously shown.
so here I'm picking some acorns off trees, and those will come in handy later.
Oh, little squirrel guy.
Hey you! How
Give
you
an
want,
acorn?
do you want an acorn, little buddy?
Aww.
Oh.
So now he's gonna tank for you too?
He is, and I just also found a coin plant, because you know those grow out in the
A
wilderness.
coin plant. I
You know,
love
I
it.
never
Yeah.
find those. I look all over the place.
I'm
I
still
think
looking,
like outside.
I'm still
like
looking
at
for a
lunch.
coin plant too.
Alright, so
When I was younger, I thought it was a bank, but boy, was I surprised.
They don't give you coins. They take them.
So, and there's little signs that help point you on your way when you get a
So
little
one of the
lost.
things we're not seeing in this build is enemies along the path.
Yeah, well,
So it looks like we've got a bug in this build, but the idea is that the path is really like generating gameplay as you go. It's dropping all these things in the world automatically for you. Enemies to fight, things to do, platforms to jump off of. So like that path and just drawing your game is really... Oh, there we go. We got enemies.
oh,
Yay!
yeah.
Oh.
You were already to self down the
Really-
river and
I
say it
was,
wasn't
yeah,
working.
no, I thought we
Oh,
were bugged
ye
out.
of little faith.
Whoa.
Carl is just that.
So the other thing cool about Carl is he has a little dodge roll on the B button, and that dodge roll also damages.
Oh, neat.
So you can do a bunch of fun stuff where you're attack, and then slam into an enemy and then slam into another one. What is that?
So what we found here is
May that be a rock man?
he's a rock guy. Yeah, a rock golem.
Rocco.
Yeah, he says he's stuck. So he's asking for my help.
Oh. And here's a little mini game. Again, this gives you an idea of some of the cool things that are possible in Project Spark. That's built all with the game tools and everything. There's a little button press mini game like you see in a lot of games.
So he's very grateful.
How does a bear trap a rock golem? See, anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Bye, rock golem.
So he gave me a bunch of coins. We're feeling pretty rich now. Anything over here? What's that?
What is that?
That's kind of neat. Like you just, hey, I don't know what's over here. Let's check it out. It's different every time.
Could you repeat the animation? Yeah, you can actually go into the character properties and say how many times you want the dive roll to play on a B button press. So you could probably do some fun type of mechanics and techniques off of the dive roll. And I don't know if we got it in, but we even wanted to see if we could set like a little pause after it and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different things you can set for it.
Alright, so this is our first side quest.
What'll it be? I think this is one of our fun loading bugs. So it could be anything. What do people want it to be while it loads?
Yeah,
What
let's hear
could it be?
some guesses.
What kind of side quests would you want? It's coming.
Can Henry talk about sharing levels in DLC will work for those who don't own the same DLC? I think we're gonna get into that.
We're gonna get into stuff like that soon, I think.
I think we got it scheduled for next week to kind of talk about some of that stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna talk more about just the whole experience and what you'll see in beta and that should go through most of those things and sort of shake out just what to expect.
It might be Thursday's stream, but I'll check because I get the schedule
Yeah.
back at my desk.
This is it's being shy.
Yeah.
It's really being shy. So
Well-
unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see one of the side quests. A beta key hunt side quest. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
That would be perfect. All right, so should we give up?
Oh, guys.
All right, it doesn't look like we're going to
This
get
is
a
why
side
we
quest.
can't have nice things.
All right.
That's why we
So,
can't have nice side
so
quests.
since we're wrapping up, I want to show some cool stuff around the overall sort of blank canvas, and some of the power of some of the different things that you can do with the characters. So some of the people were asking about, oh no, I'm going into Enter the Velociraptor.
Well, hey, if you haven't seen it, here's
So
the
if you
Velociraptor.
haven't seen Enter the Velociraptor, this is one of the things you can do, attaching the characters and animating them. So this was something that, we didn't build a dinosaur, we didn't put this in the game, but this is something that somebody was built internally as just a side fun thing to do, and they made a dinosaur. So I did not mean to go there, but there's a really cool
That
dinosaur.
was kind of funny. Hey, but we rolled with it. Like, hey, here you
All
go.
right, so let's go into the empty world and show something really cool that I think it's really easy and simple when you think about it. So I can go into this character. I'll show some of the properties actually, since some people are asking about this. I can go into some of the movement properties. I can change how fast they move, how fast they run, how high they jump, how they fly, how they swim. I can go into combat and I can sort of change all the properties around damage. There's some fun stuff there. We haven't shown this much, but you can see here I can go into the brain. It's pretty simple to get started. Very easily here you can see when on the when side, Y button, do shoot. And then we have stuff here like when X pressed attack. Well, as I talked about it before, it can easily recommend things. So I can just go to the modifier and I can build a little combo. So I can go when, light, medium, and sort of I can keep doing this. And then I can say end combo, which will give me a nice little stall at the end. So now, instead of my X button just giving me that light combo over and over again, you can see here I can go medium, and I can do a fierce at the end. And then that'll actually end my combo. So I can build a bunch of cool brawling stuff like this. But what I really want to show is I can easily pick up this character, and I can clone them. And one of the fun things about cloning these characters, and we may have shown a little bit about this before, jokingly about the Wonderful 101 is, when I do this, these all have my control. So you can see I can actually control all of these characters at once. And I can do lots and lots of fun things, switching between characters, controlling them all at once, and just doing a ton of crazy things with that. And you can see here, like a lot of people have talked about like an RTS or maybe something like that. Well, you can do something pretty quick and easy. So I'll go ahead and I'll swap this out to a boom camera, and I'll put a modifier on it. And the modifier is just going to go ahead and place the camera wherever I put it. So I can very quickly do that. And now you can sort of see I've got my little army walking around. Whoa!
We did this once with a stream with Jared, and he had his guys, whenever they hit something, they would split into two.
Yep.
Only you coded it wrong, and it kept going until it was about to crash the game. I
Exactly.
think he had like millions of guys.
So I don't know if we've shown this, but somebody asked for a flash mob that dances. So let me go ahead and multi-grab most of these guys here. And I can go ahead and probably be better to use the keyboard because there's a bug on the controller. So let me go into the multi-edit, select all these guys really quick. And let me say delete. And now we've got our single character back. And somebody was asking about a dance, so let's go into this brain real quick, and let's do something really simple. So instead of shoot, I'm going to go into our brain here, and I'm going to say E mode. Now I could replace this with a Kinect animation, so I can do some really fun stuff there.
We don't have a Connect here, so we can. We also don't have James
I'm
here.
going to go ahead and I'm going to say
Who's a
dance.
resident dancer.
So I'm going to go and say dance, and then I'm going to take this character.
Although Kim said she could dance, though.
I don't
I'm
remember
going to
saying
clone
I
a
that.
think
whole bunch
so.
of them again.
I think I remember saying, no.
James just completely steals the show.
Nobody can dance like James.
No.
Oh, I think that might have been your answer.
So go ahead and throw a whole bunch of characters in there. Go back to my little camera and then with the Y button. So there we go. So just about anything is possible in Project Spark. You can hop right in and play and use our characters and make some awesome stuff with Crossroads. Go to an empty world and make your flash mob dance. There it is.
Nice, good stuff. All right, guys, hope you like this stream. We're going to be back on Tuesday, and on Tuesday we're going to have E from the Xbox team coming in, and we're going to give him, he's never played the game, we're going to give him, put the controller in his hand, and we're going to coach him through over the course of 45 minutes, 50 minutes, just to kind of show the journey from someone who's never played it to where they're actually creating, just to kind of let you guys get an idea, and then we'll have that up on YouTube so people starting up can go and look and say, oh, okay, I get some of the concepts, so we'll do that. Thursday, hopefully we're going to be having some cool news, and I think we're probably going to do another stream next Friday as well, so you guys are kind of doubling up as we get closer and closer to the imminent beta, right? So follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and any last notes, guys? Kim, how did Geek Girl, I don't think we talked about it, how did Geek Girl Con go?
Geek Girl Con, that was a few weeks ago, I guess almost a month now. That was amazing. We had a lot of people come by, guys and girls, and see Project Spark. And
But they were all geeks, though.
get to check it out. I think you did have to be a geek to get in the door.
They had somebody checking.
That was required. But we had some kids playing, we had adults playing, and a lot of people who had never heard of or seen the game before. So it was really cool to get to talk to people about Spark for the first time.
No, sounds great. And anything else coming up for those? Like, you gotta let us know for any other ones. Like, we shouted that out. I know it's just Seattle. I know a lot of people are around, but
There's a lot of things like sort of in the works, but nothing confirmed yet.
okay. So we'll let you guys know, and maybe come out, meet the team, and take a crack at it. Although pretty soon, beta's going to be out, and you guys will never talk to us or tune into our stream again because you're going to be too busy building your own and
That's
doing your
right.
own streams and stuff. But okay, guys. So I'll upload this video to YouTube fairly soon, so you guys can check it out. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good weekend.